right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined on the stage now by the incredible Tom Shepherd from upstairs.
Thank you.
Woo! And because I said, Tom, I'll give you a hand if you want a hand. I think he looked a bit shocked, so he's roped Kirk in to do his cooking for him as well.
And he's coming.
And not only have you got one Michelin star, you've got another Michelin star. We've got double bubble, Kirk Haworth. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
That's all you need.
Stand and ask questions, I guess. Right, Tom, what are we starting with? What are we going to cook today?
Yeah, so we're going to do a new dish upstairs, a beautiful beef dish. So you've got a sirloin of Aberdeen Angus beef. We dry age this at the restaurant for an extra 7 days. And it's basically like a take on a forestry herb, so obviously really autumnal sort of garnish. So we've got some beautiful girolles, Scottish girole mushrooms. We've also got some seps. Obviously my restaurant's in Lichfield, Staffordshire. And there's a beautiful chase called Cannon Chase that's literally about 5 miles away from the restaurant. And these are literally hand-picked from Cannon Chase, which is pretty special, to be fair. So they're going to be with it. Beautiful rich beef sauce. And then a sort of like a very seasonal garnish. Got some sort of beautiful baby leeks, roasted garlic puree, some girole puree as well. And then little pastillas that are filled with some braised beef cheek. So basically it's just like it's a dish that's on the menu now. I just thought,
is this like the main course of the tasting menu?
Yeah, so upstairs we sort of build it. So we've got some, you sort of sit down as a customer, you sit down, we have some snacks, some drinks, etc. And then you'll start your experience with us. And it sort of starts small and gathers momentum as it goes on and then hits the main course, which is pretty, it's an a la carte size if I'm being honest. But you know, you go out to get fed, don't you, at the end of the day? So
proper, love it.
Oh, these little portions for sure.
So you and Kirk go back quite a long time then?
Yeah, we go back years, don't we? We first met at SATS. 2015 was it, I think? So 10 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we first met at SATS, yeah.
So what jobs were you doing at SATS then?
Actually, Tom had a great job because he was development chef. So he was in the nucleus working on all the dishes and stuff like that. And then I was sous chef then. But yeah, we started on exactly the same day.
Yeah, it was.
And then we just got on like an house on fire. And then Tom's helped me open my restaurant as well. So it's been an amazing journey, really.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. It's one of them, it's like we disconnected instantly. And working at SATS is hard. Do you know what I mean? It's a fucking tough kitchen. You know, it was the best restaurant in the country then. The very best restaurant in the country then. So it was like we were full every single day. It was 5 days a week. And on this 4-day stuff now, obviously he does, which is amazing. But yeah, it was a learning curve. It was amazing. But yeah, we struck up our friendship straight away. And obviously, I worked up in the Lake District, so I knew of his dad. And his dad's like a legend, right?
Legend, yeah.
So when I sort of met his son, well, he's even bigger legend to me. So we got very close quite early on, and we just kept supporting each other ever since, basically. So.
Oh, it's really nice. I mean, there's lots of college kids here today, lots of young chefs. I think that's the beautiful thing about this industry. You get to know people and work together and collaborate and enjoy each other's success. I mean, I've known you, Tom, for 10 years, probably.
Essentially more than that.
Yeah, maybe more, which feels weird. I mean, I remember the first time I met you, actually. I think you were actually helping out, James
Cross, is it?
Yeah.
Which Lake Road Kitchen.
Yeah, Lake Road Kitchen, which has now won a star. And actually the guy who is his sous chef now used to work for me.
No.
So it all sort of goes round.
It's just such a small industry, and you get those connections. I mean, the food that Kirk's doing now is like you never trained to do any of that food at all. It was actually his own personal story that led him into learning almost a new craft. And now the restaurant's now become the first, plant-based restaurant in the whole of the UK, which is just fucking unbelievable, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it's an incredible achievement. And I think for both of you, you've obviously had great careers working for different people, but it's been so nice to watch that journey. There'll be a lot of young people now who are looking to try and get a job in a good restaurant, and that's exactly what you should do. But then that food becomes your own eventually. You open your own restaurant, and you take some of those techniques that you learn and make them really your own.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think it takes such a long time to find yourself and your style of food, doesn't it? It's such a journey. And I think if I knew what I knew now, it's just like, just be patient, because that middle part of getting your restaurant's a beautiful part, isn't it?
Oh.
Instead of wanted it so fast and everything else. It's like when you were chef de partie, I always wanted to be a sous chef. And when you sous chef, it's like, just enjoy being a chef de partie, enjoy running your section, being told what to do, because when you have to tell everyone else what to do, it's actually not that great.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know?
It's the best job in the world.
Yeah.
It's been a chef.
Like, you could just do your bits and organise everything, and
Reverting back to that style, though, that's a really good point, because I mean, I don't know you, but I mean, you've got a style of cooking and a style of production and how you produce dishes and how you come up with concepts, etc. But I still feel like I'm finding my style still.
yeah, I still get stuck and feel like I'm still working it out. I think we're all just working it out. I think when people see successful people or whatever, we're all just trying to work it out. We haven't got it all figured out. We're all learning as we go.
Well, I think that humble nature is what actually makes you successful, because you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
One of the things I've noticed, I probably did Great British Menu a handful of years before you two both done it, and then
You were young, right?
yeah, I was.
I remember watching you
Yeah,
when I
nice.
was 18 on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously gone on, you won Michelin stars and done amazingly well. But I think the thing is, people think, and I've seen it written about both of you and myself, people think you're an overnight success, you know. So I remember, Tom, when you opened your restaurant, I remember talking to the year before, and you didn't actually go on to the show. You're looking at doing it.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, suddenly you win Great British Menu, you open a restaurant, you win a Michelin star. Kirk, you were saying your restaurant was fully booked.
Yeah.
Amazing success. But there's no such thing as overnight success. It's the decade of graft that goes in before that. And that's something that both of these two have done. They're probably two of the hottest people in the industry right now, and their restaurants are really busy at a time when people's restaurants aren't that busy.
Yeah.
And that's down to the hard work that they've done with the restaurants now, but actually the decade of work you've done before that. And I think all of them services, when you're a commis chef, a demi chef, a chef de partie, a sous chef, all them services, you're putting investment into your future.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing then when you see people do something for themselves.
I think it's like, you see that, and I think from a consumer perspective, they've never heard of you. They've never even heard of you before a TV show, right? But we were saying in the back there, it's absolutely it's not a fluke when you get to that level at all. When it was ironic, yes, a Great British Menu phoned me the year before, and I was doing these diner home boxes, obviously during COVID times, and I was absolutely bowled over by the opportunity. But at the same time, I was thinking, do I really want to represent myself doing at-home boxes, or do I actually? I know my restaurant's opening in August, October time. So I was like, shall I wait? I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be super busy. Do I actually want to be on GBM that year before, and then obviously almost not be able to handle the sort of the desire of coming to my restaurant? I mean, I didn't even know who I was, what running a restaurant's like. But then 4 months later, we get a star. A month after that, I literally get the exec producer of GBM Avril, phones me up, and she goes, I owe you an apology. Sorry about sort of trying and shoehorn you in last year. Do you want to do it this year? And it was just the perfect time. So I'd also say what Kurt was saying is absolutely like, take your time in your craft. But also, if an opportunity doesn't quite sit right, don't take it. Just allow it just to sit right. Because a year later, that opportunity was the best opportunity I probably said yes to. Do you know what I mean? It's now made my career, essentially. Do you know what I mean? So
I was actually the same. I didn't do it the first year I was asked. It just wasn't the right time for me, personally. And I think, and realistically, no one knows that, do they? So it's important. So what else is going on with upstairs? You're obviously super busy. It's obviously Kirk's dad's a very successful and famous chef, but the business is was like above your dad's jewellery shop.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, so third generation jeweller my dad was, and we purchased the property my dad purchased the property back in May 2019. So just sort of almost a year before COVID, and we opened the jewellers in September 2019, and those 6 months before COVID was probably the best 6 months I think of his life in business, which is incredible. But then there was this little pokey place upstairs where the front door was like weathered shut. You couldn't even get upstairs. There was a couple of internal staircases, and I kept on going upstairs, and it stunk. I mean, Charlotte's with me now, but it stunk of it was just like it hadn't been used in 20, 30 years. It was really musty and old, and there's like a segment of different rooms, like some polishing rooms, some watchmaking rooms, etc. And my dad was just like, Tom, I haven't got a penny to rub together here. We've extended every loan and everything we could possibly do. And I was like, well, if I can fund it myself, could we do something upstairs? So he was just like, what are you thinking? I was like, a restaurant. He was like, fucking restaurant upstairs. It was wild. Anyway, fast forward to now. It's ironic, 4 years before, in literally a week's time, upstairs. And we're now my dad's now looking to retire. So we're just going through the purchase now of the property. So I'm purchasing the property off my dad.
Amazing.
And then we're looking at transforming downstairs into a real sort of high-end sort of cocktail champagne lounge, where you sort of start your experience downstairs. You obviously internal staircases inside, so you can come upstairs and then obviously have the meal upstairs. That's what
Will that just be for diners of upstairs?
What I think with clarity of your vision, I think upstairs I always knew what I wanted to do with upstairs. With downstairs, if I start really confusing that product, so I start putting into the kitchen downstairs, and it's a small plates menu, and it's this, and we do this, and we do this, you can say yes to too many things. So for us, we just want to give it an extension of what upstairs is downstairs, and then we'll just literally focus on drinks, focus on champagne, and that's it basically. So
amazing. Should we talk about food? What's going on?
Yeah.
So you've roasted this off. Interesting, started it in a dry pan and just rendered out.
the fat.
That is nice. Rendered out some of the fat, and then you've just been giving it a little buttery bath.
That's it. So a lot of people, I know James Martin was on earlier, and I think his biggest negative feedback is how much butter he uses, right? But what people don't understand is butter is all about control. So when we put butter into a pan, we're controlling the pan. So we're bringing the heat directly out of the pan, and it puts control back into cooking. And also it enables us, our poaching is obviously a cooking method, and braising, and et cetera, et cetera. It allows you just to poach the steak in that sort of foaming butter. The butter's probably around about 100 degrees, I'd imagine, or just under 80, 90 degrees. It allows us just to sort of gently cook it as opposed to such a high sear. So yeah, Aberdeen Angus beef, aged sirloin. We age our sirloin in-house for an extra 7 days. It's a lot more intense than what the butchers would do. It gets a nice, not that mature like Parmesan flavour. I'm not all about that sort of cheesy note. I'm just about that sort of intense beef. So when you try beef, it needs to taste like beef. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And that's it. So not too aged, roasted, finished with butter, garlic, thyme, and we're going to let that rest for about 10 minutes probably now. So as long as we cook it for, we'll let it rest.
And that's how you get that really even cuisson throughout.
Yeah.
You've obviously gone high heat at the start for flavour, caramelisation, and then lower heat just to get that cooked throughout.
Exactly that, yeah. Try and get that crust on. Obviously, yeah, render the fat, adds fat into the pan, and then, yeah, just do the high roast on there. So get a nice crust, turn it right down, butter in, bit of control. Should be no grey ring, hopefully. And it should be medium rare, hopefully. So
Smells good. So garnish with that, then you got some beautiful mushrooms.
yeah, so very dead seasonal. So Scottish roll mushrooms, Staffordshire ceps, a beautiful rich beef sauce. A little bit of we make a girole stock essentially. So we go through, we probably go for about 7 to 8 kilos of girolles a week.
Wow.
We make a puree out of them as well. So all the trim, we literally make shallot garlic, load of trim of girole, make that into a stock, fast off, and then we just finish the roasting of that. I'll do all in one pan for that, to be fair, to gain that beefy flavour. And then to accompany that, we always do different cuts with beef. So we've got a little pastilla, which is almost like a little samosa, which is like foie de brick pastry, super thin, a bit like spring roll pastry. And then inside that's braised beef cheek. It's the exact recipe from the cow pie on GBM. And then we've also got some braised and cubed tongue as well. So tongue isn't used very often. It's a very old style cut of meat. And my nan used to have it on her sandwiches, I think, when she was younger. But we just braise that, and then we just roast that in a pan. And again, it just tastes like roast beef. It genuinely does. So it's just a nice, so it's something you wouldn't have at home, and yeah, we can do it in the restaurant, which I think is also a good thing as well. So
Feels like a nice fusion between like quite a comforting dish, but also like really refined cooking and beautiful ingredients.
it's a classical thing, like beef and wild mushrooms is obviously around for years, and we just elevate that. And we take things out, so like roasted garlic purees. You'd always put garlic in at that stage, where we take it out and make its own individual product or element, and then put it on a plate that way as well. So, but I do need to start getting some bits together.
Come to do
Are
something.
you okay, chef? To start to heat some puree up?
There's cons.
Yeah, is that all right?
So Kirk,
all
we're very
together
lucky
here.
to have you on the stage as well. I know this is
Good.
Tom's
This-
demo,
right.
but
Yeah.
it'd be a miss not to
Legend.
ask you a few questions as well.
Yeah,
Obviously, you two got to know each other at SATS, which is awesome. I think like it's just really cool, isn't it, that you guys would have been there grafting in the kitchen, and then today you're up on stage together cooking. It's just lovely to see that moment. But your food's obviously evolved massively.
Dropping
You've
of
gone from
2 minutes.
working at restaurants like SATS,
Yeah.
and then your style now and cooking 100% plant-based.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
from now when you're doing cooking a steak dish.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no, yeah, it does. Sometimes I look back and I go, yeah, how did this happen? Do you know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know, I was chosen to be cooking this way now, and I look at everything that you dealt with in life. You can either look at it in a negative or a positive. What you're going to do with that challenge, right? And for me, it was like I'd trained for 15 years cooking a certain way, and it was like, am I going to completely push perfectly cooking a piece of fish to a side to start working how I can make a carrot exciting for everybody. And it was just a struggle at the start. Like it was a real struggle. Like you said, it's a journey. But I just always felt like something felt right, and I was building something, even when nobody was watching or taking notice. In myself, I just believed that I was creating something that was delicious. And then, like Tommy said, my dad's known for Lancashire hot pot. So when I was cooking like a cabbage dish in coconut oil, I would give it my old man. I'd be like, "What do you?" And he's like, "Oh, it's delicious." And that was giving me a bit more confidence because we're traditionally taught in a lot of kitchens, classically like we are now, is like, which Tom's doing, is butter makes things delicious, which it does. And I've never not been in agreement with that. But we can also get flavor by using different oils, and how does that taste and how does that bring out the purity of different flavors. And I just found that super interesting, really. So yeah, it's just a journey and it's cool.
It is beautiful. I think there's one thing that everybody has in common on this stage today is everyone's very resilient. You have to be resilient to achieve what these sort of guys have achieved. But what I really like about Kirk's story and what he said there is, what are you looking for, mate?
Is it on?
What I like about Kirk's story there is that sometimes like problems and issues are actually where opportunities lie. You hear a lot of people say you learn from your mistakes, but actually sometimes you're dealt cards that you weren't expecting, but in everything there's an opportunity. And I think what you've done is actually taken that opportunity and really seen a positive in the situation and really grown from there. For me, I got ill when I was 18 years old. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I was a kid who left school with no qualifications, would never have had the work ethic. But I think by having my health taken away from me, that was a thing which made me realise I really wanted to crack on. It made me grow up very fast. And I really believe in every challenge that you get dealt, there is an opportunity if you go looking for it. You just got to be resilient to do that.
100%. 100%.
All right, so warming up them purees. Tom's just cooked off the ceps and girolles. They're beautiful looking ceps, them.
Mate, they were honestly, there used to be there was a chef I used to work with, and he's not a chef called Matt, he's not a chef anymore. You've alluded there to different reasons. He came out of the industry because of health reasons as well, which again is a sad sort of side of it. It can be a sad side of it, but he's moved back home, back to Stafford, and he just rang me up literally 2 weeks ago. So when we were coming to do this dish, he just had girolles on. And he messaged me just saying, "Tom, I moved back to Stafford. I've been looking around Cannock Chase and there's ceps everywhere." He's like, "Do you want some?" He sent me a picture of like a kilo, like a basket of ceps. I was like, "Yeah, just drop them in." And literally that afternoon, he dropped them in. I was like, "That's a dish there." And then, do you know what I mean? But I'm not a forager. I've never foraged in my entire life. The only thing that we do is wild garlic. That's it. And I'm not afraid to say that because I've never been in kitchens that have done that. As simple as that. And equally, it hasn't been something that I sort of have ever had a desire to learn until now. And I said, when there's ceps, there's Hen of the Woods that are coming out apparently next month in November. So we're going to go back there for Hen of the Woods. And yeah, it's just incredible. The fact that we can actually get a Staffordshire mushroom on in the restaurant in Staffordshire is pretty special, to be fair. So
amazing.
Really excited.
It looked great. So what's left to finish
We're going to finish it now. So obviously that's pretty much coming to the end of its rest. We've just got a sauce to heat, which I'll get a pan for. Is there a spare pan there, Kirky? Yeah, there is. Perfect. Would you mind heating that up as well, brother?
Yeah.
So we'll do that. And then I'll slice the beef. We just need to reheat the baby leeks and the beef fat turnips, and then literally we'll be good to go. All right?
Beautiful.
How are we for time, chef? You all right?
You can have all day, mate.
Okay, perfect.
Everyone's enjoying it.
Going down.
I know the first time. Did you come a couple of years ago to this? Have you been here before with it?
Oh, it's the first time.
Yeah.
Yourself?
Yeah, first time.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, we came a couple of years ago. We did it, and that was how busy it is today. Is like it's so much busier, which is great. Getting the word out.
These events are always just great because you bring lots of like-minded people together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's nice that, like, as I was saying to Tom the other week, we met up the other week on a Sunday night. We had such a good chat, and a lot of us are all dealing with the same things in restaurants, and
so true.
And it's just good to share and talk and stuff. And you never really get time because we're all so busy, but these force you to kind of come together and chat. And then you go back to work, you're a bit more energized, a bit more motivated, and so it's super nice.
It's nice to feed off each other like that and find that inspiration. So Tom, I suppose this is like, I started thinking of you in beef because obviously you won Great British Menu with amazing
Yeah.
Desperate Dan pie, but that had a massive slab of sirloin.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
It's no, it is. I mean, if you'd have told me 3 or 4 years ago that I'd be famous for a banana and a pie, I would have probably never believed you. And now, obviously, it's just like you just take your chances, you take your opportunities, and that particular year of GBM just suited what we were about. And I mean, I used to watch Banana Man as a kid. My dad was massive into Desperate Dan as well. Mad, 2 and 2 together, and that's it. But yeah, it's taking the opportunities. I've recently partnered with or did a collaboration with Marston's, which obviously everyone know Marston's pubs, not sort of known for their high end food, obviously, but it's an approachable business that you can go as a family and whatnot and have a enjoyable dinner. But I think the pie, for me, we can never do it upstairs. We've done it on special occasions, but it doesn't suit what we do. So for us to partner with Marston's was great, and it took about 9 months to develop. I remember I actually took the original cow pie to them, and their executive chef was like, "Yeah, we cannot reproduce that." They reproduced something that was just terrible, and then we somehow got to the middle ground where, to be fair, with the braised beef, the shin that's through there now as well, and the sauce is they don't put wine in any of the sauces because they're not allowed. So this is the first pie in their history they've actually put red wine in the reduction and the sauce. So there's certain things you won't know. They were like, we've had to try and get through some hoops, and 9 months of just toing and froing with head office, but we got there. So, and it sold out. I think we did 24,000 pies for a 20-week program. It sold out in 7 weeks.
It's amazing.
So now we're doing 30,000, and they've just come out this, I think, 2 weeks ago. And I think we've sold about 4,000 already. So
Play. I always remember that
Chocolate pie.
'cause I've never seen Tom Kerridge so excited about anything as when your pie came out.
Oh, right.
I was sat next to Pauline's with Tom Aitken, Tom Kerridge, and I was worried I wasn't going to get a slice.
Yeah.
Right,
He had
so
seconds, didn't he, Kerridge?
Yeah.
Had seconds, mate. Yeah. So, but you just take your opportunities. So I'm just going to get me plate. All right. So
All right, yeah.
Talking, I'm going to get me plate.
Plates are quite important, aren't they?
Me place.
I also remember with your banquet as well, Michael O'Hare drinking. You had like a caramel sort of sauce. He was just drinking out the jug. So that's when you know you've nailed it as a chef, when people are licking straight out of the crockery.
Yeah, and it's just so rewarding when you watch that program for so long and you respect chefs like yourself so much, and then they give you a 9 or a 10, and you're like, that's why for me it was so emotional, because it was like a 10, yes, like it was just, the feeling's just surreal. You can't really explain that feeling, can you?
Paul Lane's.
Because you put so much into it, and you get there, and then you've got to nail it, and then when you nail it, you're like, and I don't know about you guys, but I sleep like 4 hours a night because my adrenaline's so high. I'm up at 4 a.m. and I'm like ready to go, and we're not on till like 7. And I'm like, so by the time you get cooking, you're like, your